So yeah, this question here, do you think leaders are born or made, and why? I think I'll better let you go on some first, Kim.
He asked me then, he goes, I think that they're made, and I went, well, no, actually, I think they're born, and that's for me anyway. I remember just as a kid, you know, I got a vision at 5 years old that I don't know where it come from and stuff, but when I was 5, I was standing on a stage. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was standing on a stage like at a Beatles concert. Has anyone seen a Beatles concert on or Live Aid on TV? Yeah, freaking a lot of people, eh? And so I was like, whoa, what am I doing? You know, as you do. And I didn't know whether I was acting, singing, dancing, whatever. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that that was for me, and it was me that was on that stage. And at 5, hello, what do you know at 5? And so stored that in the back, and I sort of carried that through with me for years and years and years. And in 99, I came to NorthTec and got a degree in theatre. Why theatre? Well, I wanted to be a cop, and I thought, well, I wasn't fit enough. And I wanted to be a chef, and I'd eat all the profits. So I didn't go that way. So I thought, I'll do performing arts. Yeah, that'll be the one for me. And each year I did 4 years certificate and then 3-year degree, and I loved it. Honestly, I was like foaming at the mouth every day to go. I just loved it, and so I knew that was me. That was me. But I didn't know what that was in the bigger picture of things. And I went back to school as an adult student. I did 7th form communications English a couple of years before I did this course. And I was like, communication, what the heck, I don't know what that was about either, but I just did it because I loved it. And so performance and stuff like that has really, really been the basis and help of what I do now in the community, to communicate with our community, with people, the kids, being stupid with the kids, I love it. And just, totally be myself, who God created me to be, So many people put you down through your life, especially when you're a child and growing up. And now that you're adult, you can be who you want to be, and it's awesome. Yeah. So I think for me, I think I was born a leader. I know when I was a little kid, I actually thought it was stubbornness. My mum would think that, but I think I sort of always known what I wanted to do in a sense, and with what I do now, it's just sort of just happened and rolled out, sort of thing. And I know it's only the beginning, it's going to get bigger, and it's really starting to take off. And but it's something that's just happened. I don't know, it's just unbelievable. So I believe for me is that I am born to be a leader, but the biggest thing is whether you choose to be that leader is the biggest thing. For me, I could have went, stuff that's too much hard work, because it's a lot of work. But I've sort of taken up the baton and thought, this is me. This is where I feel comfortable at. This is what I've been made to be. This is what I've born to be, and I'm just going to go for it. And nothing is going to stop me from being who I am and where I'm going. Don't know where I'm going, but I know it's bigger and better. But also enjoying what we do a lot too is miss out the middle bit. But I'm just trying to enjoy each day as it comes, and the people that I meet. And I just love it, and the best is yet to come, I reckon. So yeah.
Thanks for that. How about you, Steve? Born or made?
My research is showing me that this is going to be an eternal conundrum. It's going to be an eternal debate that will never ever be resolved. And I've looked at this and I've thought a bit about it. I think some people are lucky. They are born to be leaders. It's genetic. Right from day one on this planet, they've got it. And they're lucky. The military bashed it into me. I wasn't born with it. I had to work at it. And I think, the other factor is we can learn to be good leaders if we have a role model. If we see someone that's got their act together in a leadership sense and we tune into those characteristics, we can learn a lot from that. But, I think we've got to be receptive to leadership qualities anyway. We've got to be receptive to it and know there is value in having a concern for self and a concern for others. So in summary, I think some people are lucky, they're born leaders, but the majority of us can learn how to be better leaders from good examples. And just to cap that off, important leaders that have inspired me along my journey, Sir Peter Blake. He had a we more than we mentality, you know. We are a team. It's not I, we, you know. That really gets into my psyche. He dealt with what is and was very grounded in reality. I like that. Sir Edmund Hillary is a big one in my book as well. I think his sense of humility and modesty, despite his greatness under pressure and his concern for others, the work that he did in Nepal, to me that stands out as being pretty high up in the leadership stakes, as being very, very inspirational. And I guess the last two are really convenient from my doctoral research I'm doing. Sir Ernest Shackleton. Some of you had the pain of my presentation on what Ernie did down there with 27 guys in the snow. The tenacity, that sense of purpose, that drive, you know, that humility comes through for me as being a really prized leadership characteristic. And when I meet his granddaughter in London next year, I hope to be able to sort of really pull out of her mind what her granddad was really like from a personal perspective, to use that in my research. The final guy that really inspires the hell out of me is Gene Kranz. He was the mission controller when Apollo 13 blew up on its way to the moon. Those guys weren't going to come back to Earth. There was no doubt in my mind they wouldn't have come back to Earth if he hadn't have banged his fist on the table and said, failure's not an option. That was a defining moment in the return of that blown-up rocket to Earth safely. And I think that self-discipline under pressure, the world was focusing on that situation. And the team was looking to him for direction. He gave it. Said, go to it, you've got 2 hours. Go and build this thing and sort it out. That's leadership, you know. He rose to the occasion. And I think that's really kind of cool. So those are people that have inspired my sense of what is a born leader versus what can be learned. And I look to these people for inspiration. I'll shut up now.
Oh, you were quite happy listening. I agree with what both of you have said. Although I'm a bit torn, I think it's a mixture of partly who you are born and also partly how you're made up as well. I think that there are characteristics you need to have as a leader, you know, outgoing and able to communicate well and all those sort of things. If you're a painfully shy person, I don't know how well you'd do as a leader, or you'd struggle, you'd have to really address that. But I do think also, like what you said, Kim, that you make choices. I mean, like you, there's lots of different choices I could have made throughout my whole life, not just in relation to that. And that if I hadn't made the right choices that were true to myself, because I think that's very important, being true to yourself, I wouldn't have got to where I am now. And I almost believe that you have to do the time to get the rewards. I've always felt like that, and I've always been brought up like that nothing comes easy. You've got to do the time. You've got to do the hard time. And if life throws shit at you, and I'm guessing you've probably had some shit thrown at you in your life, and me too. And I think if you go through those times, it's like a test. If you go through those times and you do it with integrity and you do it and you're true to yourself and you do the right thing, that life will reward you in the end, and you get stronger from it. And I think a lot of those things gave me the strength to deal with what I'm now dealing with. And if I hadn't have had those things happen to me, although the characteristics I have, the bubbly nature and all that sort of, the vivaciousness and all that sort of stuff, help. If you hadn't had that, you wouldn't be able to handle it either. So I think it's a combination of those two things, definitely.
Leesa, I remember reading a bit on the net about you. I think from memory you were raised with a whole bunch of brothers. Is that?
Yeah, well, I actually grew up in a welfare. My parents were wealthy parents, so a very strange upbringing.
Yeah.
I was the only white face in a married family of 14. So I guess that's where my kind, caring about the community and other people comes from. And as I said, it's still a failing of mine. It's not a failing, but I have to very watch it constantly because I tend to put everybody before myself. I mean, generally it's the husband at the bottom of the list, you know, and the dog, the cat, and the husband. Well, it's me. Husband and me. So you have to be aware of yourself, and yeah, it's a tricky one.
Okay.